there, my friends. So, you may notice that I am not holding any poi in my hands. This is because today is going to be a tutorial of a different color. A little over a year ago, I got a request for a tutorial on warm-up exercises that you can do before you start spinning, which I am only now getting around to. I apologize for my tardiness here. But essentially what I'm going to give you guys is kind of an abbreviated version of the warm-up that I usually do in dance classes, because I find that a lot of it is helpful for warming up the body below the shoulders. And of course, one thing that we neglect a whole hell of a lot of the time with poi is anything that doesn't involve our arms, right? So let's get started. We're going to start off with a very, very simple analogy that I think almost anybody can work with. We're going to imagine what would happen if, a kindergartner or a younger kid were given a crayon and they just scribble a line on a piece of paper and it goes all over the place and wavy and everything. We're going to come back to this imagery quite a few times inside here. To start with, you're going to imagine that you're going to walk that line. So whatever space you happen to be practicing or warming up in, you're going to imagine that you see that line down on the ground in front of you, and you're going to walk it as though you were a little ant following it towards great treats, yes? And as you do so, you're going to speed up your walk a little bit. You're going to imagine that you have some place to be you need to get to in a hurry. You're running late, but you're not there yet, right? You'll notice that as you do so, you tend to separate out your leg bones just a little bit further than normal. And that'll start to wake up all those little muscles that you have in close to your hips that you never ever use when you're sitting down or anything. After a couple minutes of this, you're going to go ahead and turn around and take a walk of the exact same speed backwards. This is going to mean that your knees are bent pretty much all the time as you're doing this, and that you're going to come down on the balls of your feet and land on your heels. Again, you're tracing out this squiggly line. You're going to again turn around and trace out that squiggly line as you walk on your tiptoes. You're going to kind of wake up the muscles in your feet and ankles. And again, after a couple minutes of that, you're going to come to a stop and you're going to warm up your shoulders. To do this, you're going to start off by rolling your shoulders backwards 8 times. Then you're going to take your elbows up into like a chicken wing kind of look. Go back with them 8 times. And then full arms back 8 times. Switch direction. Forwards 8 times. Elbows forward 8 times. Shoulders forward 8 times. Next, you're going to pitch your head forward, touching your chin to your chest, and you're going to give yourself a nice gentle bounce, opening up all these bones back in your neck right here. Take a deep breath in and reach for the sky. And as you let that breath out, you're going to melt down a little bit further so that now you're stretching out the bones in your upper back. Once again, give yourself a nice gentle bounce. Deep breath in, reach for the sky. And as you let it out, you're going to go down even further, stretching out those bones in your lower back. Once again, giving yourself a nice gentle bounce. And this time when you come up, you're going to do something that's going to feel really, really weird. Remember how I said hold on to that imagery of the squiggly line all around you? You're going to trace that out again, but this time you're going to trace it out with the tippy top of your head. So imagine that piece of paper now has been stuck up vertical and is wrapped around you. You're going to take the top of your head and try and trace out that squiggly line all around you. You're going to look weird as hell doing this. It's totally okay. Do you know why? Because it's going to warm up all these muscles in your midsection right here faster and easier than just about anything else that you can do. So, do it with pride. Next, you're going to do the same exercise, and this time you're going to do it with your fingertips. So you're going to find all the places that those squiggly lines can be all around your body. And you're going to explore low and high. You're going to stretch out your shoulders, and you're going to bring yourself down low as you're doing this. Yeah? Finally, you're going to accomplish the same operation, but this time you're going to follow that squiggly line with your hips. And again, you're going to explore how high you can get your hips to reach and how low you can get your hips to reach. And again, find that squiggly line around you and trace it out. And again, you're going to look weird as balls, but trust me, after you do all this, your body is going to go from about 0 to, oh, I am ready for work now. Cool. So one last thing before I would say you're ready to pick up your poi after doing all this, and that is that we're going to do a little bit of endurance training in your shoulders. Especially if you're playing around with flowers, you're going to have your arms outstretched, basically supporting their own weight and the poise weight for a good long time while you're practicing. So to try and build up your shoulders endurance, here is a great exercise that I learned while taking dance classes in Kenya a couple years ago. And that's, you start off with your arms pointed straight out to the sides, and what you're actually going to do is you're going to kind of flap them up and down, and you're going to count off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 2, 3, 4. You're going to go up to 4 repetitions of 8 as you're doing this, just to start with. This is going to tire your shoulders out to do the whole sequence. So just start with 4, but work your way towards 8, 12, maybe even 16, right? After you've gotten in your 4 sets of 8, you're going to switch it up such that your upper arms stay straight out to your sides, but your forearms are going to go from kind of this goal line from football kind of formation back out to straight. So again, you're going to do 4 sets of 8. And after you've completed that, you're going to keep your arms up and do 4 sets of 8, opening and closing your hands. And remember, your upper arms don't go any lower than your shoulders the entire time. More than likely, your shoulders are going to burn by the time you're done with this. But you know what? If you do that every time before you start spinning poi, your arms will be capable of supporting flowers like you wouldn't believe. Cool. So that's what I got for you guys for a warm-up. I hope that was helpful to some of y'all and looked not so terribly weird to the rest of y'all. Thank you for watching, and I will be back again with another tutorial next week. Peace.